Hello to all the HubLE audience. My name is Niloufar Ansari. I'm a postdoc at Monash Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences in Australia. I'm working on cell-targeted drug delivery systems for treating osteoporosis and other skeletal disorders. I'm also HubLE's editor-in-chief for innovative science communication. I'm here today on behalf of HubLE to interview Melanie Kistler-Fischbacher, who presented her work at ANZ-BMS 2021. Hello, Melanie. Welcome. Can you please introduce yourself to the HubLE audience and tell us more about what you presented?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Melanie Kistler-Fischbacher, and I am a movement and exercise scientist. I completed my PhD at Griffith University, Gold Coast, Australia, earlier this year in February. At the ANZ-BMS 21 meeting, I presented geometric and cross-sectional and structural outcomes of femoral neck bone strength from the medication and exercise for osteoporosis trial. So the MEDEX-OP trial was an 8-month randomized controlled trial comparing the effect of high-intensity resistance and impact training to a low-intensity Pilates-based exercise program on indices of fracture risk in postmenopausal women with low bone mass who were either on or off anti-resorptive medication.
Thank you. That was really exciting. Can you tell us about the key findings of your research?
Yes, so our findings show that high-intensity resistance and impact training improved volumetric bone mineral density outcomes, as well as geometric outcomes such as cortical thickness and cross-sectional measures such as bending strengths at the femoral neck in the high RIT or high intensity resistance and impact training group. On the other side, we did not find any positive effects of low intensity Pilates-based training and on proximal femur bone strength. The addition of anti-resorptive bone medication improved effects for the high RIT training. So that means that the high RIT group taking bone medication achieved greater improvements in volumetric and structural outcomes at the femoral neck. We did, however, not observe a similar effect in the low intensity group, which means low intensity training combined with anti-resorptive medication did not achieve a greater effect than low intensity training alone. So these are the results for proximal femur bone strength. Also worth mentioning here is that we have published the main findings of the trial, which include aerial bone density at the spine and functional outcomes. And the findings that I just mentioned align with those primary outcomes, showing that high intensity resistance and impact training improved bone as well as physical function and stature, whereas low intensity training did not.
That's very interesting. So I wanted to talk more about the implications. How do you think would be the big picture of your findings?
Yes, sure. So our study was basically a direct comparison of high and low intensity bone targeted exercise, which has implication for exercise prescription. So as I've explained before, high intensity training or improved bone measures, as well as indices of fall and fracture risk, such as functional performance. Low intensity training, on the other hand, was ineffective for bone. So essentially, exercise prescription for postmenopausal women with low bone mass should include high intensity resistance and impact training. Also, with respect to medication intake, our results suggest that there may be an additive benefit of doing high RIT training and taking medication, but those results are still preliminary due to relatively small sample sizes. But yeah, irrespective of medication intake, high RIT had multiple benefits for fall and fracture prevention.
That's very interesting. So what's the next step? I think you mentioned that you finished your PhD. So what's the next step in your career? What do you want to do? You stay in academia? Are you looking for any position at the moment?
So as a next step in my career, I'm looking for a postdoc position in Europe, and I'm hoping to build on the findings of my PhD and further investigate the interaction of current osteoporosis medication therapies and exercise for bone and muscle health.
Awesome. So if you're located in Europe and you're doing exercise and bone research, Melanie is looking for the position, contact her. Thanks, Melanie. We look forward to hear more about your research in the future. I would also like to thank the audience for joining us today. If you are presenting your work at musculoskeletal meetings and you would like to be interviewed, please feel free to reach out and fill the form that we have at our website, hubble.org. On the right side, you see share your idea. You can click on get in touch button and fill the form, and then we'll be in contact with you to plan the interview. And finally, follow HubLE on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.